Do you remember when you were a kid and was always being asked by adults, what do you want to be when you grow up? Additionally, these same adults were always making career suggestions about becoming a lawyer, an athlete, a writer, office worker, or a teacher. Being the daughter of a teacher has made for a unique childhood. My mom has always instilled in me the idea of limitless potential. She has exemplified this concept through her career, which focuses on three key principles: think big, persist, and perform. The principle of thinking big showed up in my life at the ripe old age of 8. Like billions of fourth graders across the world, I suddenly found myself doing school virtually at home with a lot of free time on my hands. My mom, always the educator, encouraged me to think of a unique strategy to make the most of my time. Thus launched my career as a Think Big Kid. Think Big Kid is a YouTube channel where I interviewed over 20 professionals about their occupations, and I learned how to record, edit, and publish these videos on my channel. I interviewed people like firefighters, country music stars, the Commissioner of Education, a Delta pilot, and even my teacher. We made Think Big Kid merchandise, and I even wrote my own jingle that goes a little like this. I'm a Think Big Kid, and I like to think really big. Would you like to think with me about all the possibilities? We're all Think Big Kids. The principle of persistence is the next key to a limitless future. I was blessed with being born with a natural talent of singing. However, I really wanted to learn how to play the guitar so I could accompany myself. When I first began my lessons, I was so excited. After the first few lessons, I thought, what have I gotten myself into? My fingers hurt so bad, and this mindset caused me to hit a few walls, and thus it diminished my motivation to pursue music. After a short break from lessons in music, I realized if I want to learn guitar, I must stay persistent. I started my lessons once again, and as I learned more scales and more songs like Hot Cross Buns and Smoke on the Water, I had more fun, and I began to excel at my craft. Then I recognized my progress, and that's when I had the idea to compare my talents against my peers to really get a sense of my skill. I went to my mom and asked her to sign me up for a music competition, and she found the Tennessee State Fair Youth Contest, which was open to kids from anywhere in Tennessee. Once I was registered, I began to prepare for my performance. The principle of performance focuses on building confidence through strategic preparation. The first step for my performance was to select the perfect song. When I first started my song selection search, I thought about doing a song like Jolene, 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 but I later decided it may be inappropriate for a 12-year-old to sing such a song. I also realized I really needed to know my audience, and I thought about how the crowd would consist of people around the age of my parents and grandparents. This meant I needed to find a good song that was recognizable but still age-appropriate. Then one day, while I was scrolling through social media, I came across a 14-year-old girl that won The Voice, singing The House of the Rising Sun, in a way that gave me chills. I began actively practicing my performance every single day for my door. I wanted to make my performance more unique, so I performed the song for my grandpa, who was also a musician. He suggested that I swapped out the last verse with Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. That was it! That's what I needed to make the song my own. After several months of persistence, I headed to the stage. Once a few acts were done, it was my turn. With my palms sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy, and my feet rocking, I adjusted the mic and gave it my all. Then it was time to hear the results. The judges called the names of 3 performers as finalists to the stage. Then I heard, 3rd place goes to, 2nd place goes to, and finally 1st place goes to. They called my name for 1st place. I enthusiastically accepted my $100 reward and certificate. With a smile on my face and a check in my hand, I realized I had limitless potential. News of my success buzzed around, and I was invited to perform a complete 45-minute set at an Oktoberfest, where I got to perform 10 songs to a large audience. Since then, I have released my own music and composed my own melodies. To excel in my craft, I have begun to learn more languages such as French and Italian to help me with composing and singing unique songs. In the past 4 years, from starting with the idea of Think Big Kid and pushing myself out of my comfort zone to learn how to play guitar and perform in public, I learned that my future was limitless. I learned that I could do whatever I wanted as long as I followed the 3 principles of Think Big, persistence, and performance. To be limitless is to be brave, to be bold and to understand we are bound only by the limitations we impose on ourselves. So now, when adults ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I say my future is limitless, and like the lyrics from my Think Big Kids song, you can be a doctor or a teacher, or maybe a celebrity. There's no limit to what we can be. We're all Think Big Kids, and we like to think big!